So let's take the flying car companies, for example, right?
Okay.
They're in a spot where they have to recognize the fact that wide adoption isn't going to be the case within a very short period of time. They're in it for the long haul, and they're developing technology that may be ready within the next couple of years,
Right.
but won't be able to implement for a long time. So especially from the VC side, what are you seeing from founders, and what are you seeing from the people who are in a technology that they know won't be able to be implemented for a long time? Like what's the mentality of these guys? And how do you keep going on the day-to-day when you know that it's such a long road ahead that you don't know the result of? There's no way of predicting the result of something as big as flying cars, right? Whether the technology's there or not.
Good question. So a little bit about the technology. When it comes to vertical takeoff and landing, we've had that for a long time. The Harrier could do it back, I think that was the 1960s or 70s when it first came out. So that type of technology is not new. Battery technology certainly isn't there yet. During the Uber Elevate conference, they had very, very, you could say like out there claims in terms of battery promises. The lithium ion batteries today, accounting for the margin of safety that they need, they don't have the energy density to power urban aerial mobility. I think theoretically it could, but then you're pushing the boundaries of safety, and that's not okay. So battery technology certainly isn't there. There's going to be some complications with autonomous flight. You know, as long as you have passengers on it, not having a pilot is a no-go right now. I think the numbers work out to have a pilot in there in the short term. In the long term, you're going to have to figure out autonomous. We figured out autonomous flight. It's really more figuring out the edge cases. Because the pilots are really on board for emergency situations and you're going to have to figure out regulations. So a lot of complexities around it. But to answer your question about how these flying car companies go day to day, in my opinion, you need to be driven by one, the vision for what you can achieve in the future, but also be okay with a backup plan. Something that this vehicle can serve even if urban aerial mobility didn't take off. Whether it's selling it to, you know, small private owners, that could be one revenue stream. Whether it's selling it to military use, military's got to have applications for it, or even like government use, whether it's a like safety evacuation type situation. There are all these other channels that you can sell to. And though that would provide a good revenue stream while you kind of have to wait for all the other pieces to fall in place. I know I can't remember exactly which startup it was, but they're doing something in the flying car space, and their short-term revenue stream was, I think it was like dust crop on farms or something where they're spraying stuff over a crop. Yeah, that's another way to make money. It's not the sexy way. It's not what we want. You know, we want flying cars like we've seen in the Jetson growing up. But it's a way to sustain revenue. That's my opinion.